Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. Well, we made it to the end of the weekend. What's going on in the stock market today? Well, the Dow's up about 30. The Nasdaq's up about 100. We're having an update. We had that down day yesterday, and now we're rebounding a little bit. This is kind of the topping out process. Now, most of you know that I think this market is going to come in. Now, most people believe that this market can never drop. It can never drop. They believe that the Federal Reserve will pump it up. They believe that the Federal Reserve will not let this market fall. I disagree with that. I think the market's going to come in. Look, right now we're at a point where there is extreme greed in the market. There's the most number of calls on record ever sold, right? Right now people are buying calls hand over fist, thinking the market's going to continue higher. This is greed, extreme greed, and when you have extreme greed, you have extreme risk. I believe this market's going to come in. Now the VIX shot up from 13 up to 17, pulled back. Now we're about 1450. Still very low, still very complacent in this market. Nobody believes it's going to come down. It's going to shock a lot of people when it happens. Once again, just my take. I think this market's going to come back in over the next couple of months, if you will. Anyways, let's get over to the real estate market. Now, real estate market, a lot of things are changing quick. What's happening? Well, what's happening is that interest rates are spiking up. The 10-year yield is just spiking straight up, going straight up, right? So what's going to happen to mortgages? Well, mortgages, they came out with the article, mortgage rates hit the high point of the year. The high point of the year. Okay, they're back over 7% again, up around 7.2%. And that's if you have an 800 credit score. You don't have an 800 credit score, you're paying 8% or higher, right? So what they're telling you is that, well, here's the line from the article. At this point, people are mostly adjusted to the higher mortgage rates. Are you adjusted to the higher mortgage rates? Look, I know that 7% is the new 3%, right? Okay, so it used to be 3%, now it's 7%. Well, soon 10% is going to be the new 7%, right? Because we're going higher. I think mortgage rates will get to 10%. I think we're going to see double-digit mortgage rates. Now, not to worry. There's another article over at Realtor.com, right? Realtor.com says there's solid reasons to buy now, even at these higher rates. And they're going to give you 3 solid reasons. Here's solid reason number 1. No one else is looking to buy a house right now. You're going to be the only buyer in the game. So now is a good time to buy with the rates spiking up. Okay, there's fewer buyers. I agree with that. Fewer buyers are looking to buy a property. So if you go out now, you're going to be one of the few buyers that are out there looking. All right, solid reason number 2 that Realtor.com gives is that the listing price is just the starting point. Now, with these high interest rates, a lot of these listing prices are going to be accepting lowball offers. Now, maybe that's true, maybe that's not true, but they're saying to go ahead and put lowball offers in on these listing prices. The listing prices are ridiculously high, and they think with the higher rates, people will accept lowball offers. Now, here's the secret to lowball offers. I get a lot of clients, a house comes on the market, it is pristine, it is beautiful. The day they come on, they want to go put the lowball offer in. Well, that person's expecting to get top dollar, right? He's not ready for a lowball offer. Now, you wait and look at properties days on market where they've been on for 2 months, 60 days or longer. These are people where you can go make a lowball offer and have a reasonable chance of getting at least a counter offer or getting your offer accepted outright. So lowball offers are an option, and that's what Realtor.com is telling us to tell our clients, to offer below the list price. All right. So the third solid reason to go out and buy right now with these high interest rates are that interest rates are poised to come down. And the line they use is to marry the house. In other words, find the perfect house that you want and get married to it, buy it, lock it in with these high interest rates, and then date the interest rate, right? Meaning marry the house, date the interest rate. Marry the house, date the rate. Okay. So they're expecting interest rates to come down. And then you can refinance and you're locked into your beautiful home and your payments will go down. Well, my question would be, what if interest rates don't come down? What if they continue to go higher? Now, I believe that inflation is still running rampant. I mean, they'll tell you that inflation's under 5%. Look at food prices. Food prices just in the last year are up 50%. 50% year over year increase in food prices. Now, of course, that's not taken into account in their inflation numbers, because if it was, inflation would still be up above 10%. But no, they say it's below 5%. So I think inflation is still going crazy. Food prices up 50% year over year. So I don't think rates are going to come down. I think rates are going to go up. I think they're going to continue to hike rates. And I do see mortgage rates hitting double digits. So the marry the house and date the rate thing, this is the battle cry of real estate agents. Don't fall for it. I don't believe it. I believe that we're going to see rates continue to go up. Now, this is the largest real estate bubble in the history of the world. It's the greatest bubble we've ever had, and it's also the longest running bubble we've ever had. Started in 2012, been going on for, 10, 11 years, right? Bubble's been going straight up. They're pumping the air in the bubble by printing how much money? $20 trillion, $20 trillion since we crashed back in '08. They come and they printed 20 trillion. And yes, it's made the bubble bigger. Now, how do I know we're in a bubble? Well, I know we're in a bubble because it's bigger than 2008. Prices are more expensive. The bubble's bigger. 2008, everybody agrees it was a bubble. We came down by 34%, and then we're blowing all this money to make the bubble bigger. And it's a worldwide bubble. And a lot of places around the world are starting to pop. Places like the UK. Okay, you see, the reason they're starting to pop is because they don't have the 30-year loan, right? They have the 5-year loan. So a lot of those loans are coming due. They were at 3%. Now it's 7%. That's going to pop the bubble. Same with Australia. They don't have the 30-year loan. Same with Canada. They don't have the 30-year loan. This bubble is going to be starting to pop around the world. And it's going to hit the United States. But Mike, we got 30-year money. I'm locked in at 2.8%. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to die in my house. I'm stuck. I'm not moving. And that's your choice. I'm just telling you the bubble's going to pop. Look at how else do I know we're in a bubble? All right, this is fascinating to me now. Manhattan, New York, right? New York. Okay, so there's this apartment that just rented for $2,300, $2,350 to be exact. Anyways, how big is the apartment? 7 feet by 11 feet. 77 square feet. The apartment just rented for $2,350. $2,350 for a 77 square foot apartment. Now there's nothing in the apartment. It's like renting a room, right? Okay, I used to rent rooms in my house when I was in my 20s. I had a lot of friends back then. One guy, I had someone in every room, but someone knocked on the door, right? And he was going through a divorce. He had a suitcase in his hand. He said, Mike, can I stay here for just a couple weeks? My wife kicked me out. He's my buddy. I go, sure, come on in. So we cleared out the utility closet for him. It was about 7 feet by 11 feet. Now, I only charged him a couple $100. It was supposed to be for 2 weeks. He stayed for 2 years. Then he finally got remarried again and left. But anyways, he was living in the utility closet. And that's what this apartment, it reminds me of. Anyways, 7 feet by 11 feet, $23.50 a month. Now, do you think about $23.50 a month? What is that? Rough numbers, $30,000 a year. Okay, $30,000 a year. So to rent that place to qualify should be about 30% of your income. Well, you'd need to make $90,000 a year, $90,000 a year to go and rent an apartment 7 feet by 11 feet. Now, here's the funny thing. Does it have a bathroom in the apartment? No bathroom in the apartment. You have to go down the hall and share the bathroom with everybody else. I mean, this is just ridiculous. But this is how I know we're in a bubble. Now, what has happened to every bubble in the course of history? In the history of the world, what has happened to every bubble? Well, guess what? They all burst. They all pop. They all pop and go down. But Mike, it's different this time. We got MMT. We printed $20 trillion to get into this bubble. We can print another $40 trillion and keep the bubble going. We could, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The bubble's going to pop. Now look, we've gone up 50% in the last 3 years, let's call it during the pandemic, right? House prices went up 50%. Now this is not normal. This 50% increase, it was a gift. Whose was it a gift to? It's a gift to Billy Bob and the Boomers. Billy Bob and the Boomers got the gift. Wouldn't that be a good name for a band? Billy Bob and the Boomers? Anyways, Billy Bob sold at the top. He took his equity out. Now the baby boomers, they want to get out of their house. And this 50% increase is a gift. Now who's going to be paying for the gift? Well, the millennials. The millennials are going to come and buy the houses from the boomers. But the smart millennials are going to be patient. They're going to wait. They're going to wait for the Fed to come out and pivot, right? And the Fed's going to pivot, and everybody thinks that's going to make houses run up. It's not going to make houses run up. It's actually going to be a shock to the marketplace. When the pivot comes, will be the shock to the marketplace. Now, why is that even possible? Well, because the shock to the market is going to be 2 million homes coming on in the form of inventory. That's going to shock this market. When the Fed pivots, something's broken, right? Okay, now what's broken? Right now, it is estimated that 10% of homeowners are in financial distress. They're in financial distress. They can't make their mortgage payment. They don't have money for food. They don't have money for gas. They're broke, right? They're in financial dire straits. Now, in the old days, they could refinance their house and pull that equity out. They can't right now because they're locked in at that 2.8%. They can't get that equity out. They can't refinance. Now, they can go get a HELOC loan, 9 or 10%. They're going on those HELOCs. Okay, so they get that money out. That's almost like a credit card, right? That's half a credit card. Credit card's at about 20, 22%, and the HELOC's about 9 or 10. Anyway, so they can get some expensive money out, but they're in financial distress, so they're not going to have a very good chance of even getting a loan. Now, okay, so they got no way to tap their equity, and when they start seeing that equity disappearing, they're going to be strapped for cash. They're going to have to dump that onto the marketplace, right? Okay, that's just 10% of people right now in these good times when the jobs are available, when the economy is booming. 10% of homeowners are under financial duress. They're strapped for cash, and they're going to have to dump these houses onto the marketplace. Now, I'm not saying all 10% are going to dump them onto the marketplace, but what if 2% dump them onto the marketplace? A lot of people don't understand. They don't understand that houses are sold on the margin. It doesn't take 5% or 10% to bring this whole house of cards come crashing down. In 2008, it took less than 2% to bring it down 34%, right? If 10% actually dumped their houses, we'd come down way below 50%. Now, I'm calling for a 50% drop. We're already down about 10%, so another 40% more to drop, right? Now, it could get much worse than that, but that's just reverting back to the mean, and when they revert back to the mean, sometimes it overshoots overshoots to the downside. Right now, we've overshot to the upside. We've overshot on this bubble, right? Now, this bubble is big. It's the biggest the world has ever seen, and we've overshot, right? Okay, so here's my advice. Sit back, grab some popcorn, watch the show, wait for the Fed to pivot, be patient. You will be rewarded. This market's going to come in. It's going to come down. Now, that's just my take. Now, you got those moon boys out there. I get them in the comments. Man, those moon boys, we're going straight to the moon. Houses are going to the moon. Stock market's going to the moon. Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to $1 million of Bitcoin. Hurry up, jump in, buy some of that. See how that works out for you. I'm telling you, here's the secret. Here's the secret. I'm going to give you the secret right now. Okay. Every bubble in the history of the world ends up popping, ends up bursting, ends up people losing lots and lots of money. These bubbles will deflate. We will revert back to the mean, may overshoot to the downside. Just my take. Anyways, it's Friday, everybody. Get out there, have a great Friday. But first thing you got to do, give me that thumbs up. Why not? And if you really like this stuff, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends. Man, we're getting up close to 3,000 subscribers. That's like crazy. I'm just an old guy with the microphone and the computer. So give me that thumbs up. Really helps me out a lot. Get out there, everybody. Have a great weekend. I want to talk to you again next week. Bye-bye now.